Hello everyone and welcome along to something very new here on RaceSpotTV. It is our RaceSpot community stream, something we're going to try and do every now and then and try and keep you up to date. I'm Lewis McGlade.
And I'm Melly, and I'm super excited to be here. Lewis, thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
the call could have come a little bit earlier next time, but I'm okay with 15 hours heads up.
No, this is the thing with you. You need to learn this about the sim racing world. Everything is done as last minute as is humanly possible.
So we're going back to roots of esports.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Everything is done last minute. Yeah, surely you're used to this. You've been in the esports world for a while.
Yeah, we just figured that out, right? So 2 decades.
Yeah.
First as an active player, then as a host. Oh wow, it's been a wild ride the past 15 years, especially in front of the camera. And I was able to work with lots of different disciplines and lots of different genres. Of course, I myself come from the FPS genre. I'm a former Counter-Strike 1.6 professional. Yes, I'm that old. But I had my fair share of sim racing events as well and projects, and I'm really happy to be here and to talk more about sim racing, learn more about it, because to be honest, I love cars. And I know how fast they go, and I myself, I'm a pretty decent driver IRL, but that's about it.
We'll see. We'll see. Obviously, just to kind of explain about
IRL.
to explain about some of the things we're going to have in the show. We're going to go through some teams and driver stuff. We're going to go through some news as well from the results of the sim racing world, some news of the wider world of sim racing, and
yeah, we have very beautiful potpourri of different topics to talk about,
including our own driving.
I was trying to skip that part.
No.
Because my shoulders hurt.
Oh.
I heard it shoveling poop the weekend. I have horses, by the way.
That is, you have some excuses. Yes. These are ones that have not been heard in the sim racing world.
That's how we esports pros do it. Lewis, you should know about that. Like, it's never your own performance. It's always the factors around it. Yeah?
Exactly. That's why in Racespot we have #BlameHugo. So that's fine. Our broadcast director here. Let's just jump straight into it. Let's jump straight into it.
Yes, of course. But
it's fine.
Well, we're having fun today, and guys, we love reading from you as well. So if you have anything to share with us, put it in chat. We can see you up there. So hi everyone, and thank you for joining us. And I mean, we went through social media today and we found a few posts that we want to talk about, right?
Absolutely. And the first of those is in our silly season section. This is all talking about teams, drivers, information and stuff which is kind of more relevant on a teams and driver scale, something that I'm probably more used to than the wider scale. It's very scary on that side, including this one.
You're a former professional, right?
Semi.
Yeah.
Semi-professional. Let's go with that.
That sounded different a little earlier, but we'll talk about that more in just a bit, I guess.
First bit though, obviously cabina racing with Coanda. Well, yeah, cabina racing. What's this about?
Local Cologne car dealership getting involved into sim racing. Love to see that as a culture matron, obviously.
Yeah.
And really excited to see what synergies they can actually build. But Luz, tell us a bit more about it. So Kubina has tied the knot with Coanda.
Exactly. Obviously, Coanda being one of the biggest teams in esports, they certainly were vying for the #1 spot a little bit earlier on. You can see their livery. I'm not 100% sure as to where we're going to see this livery raced on. It's kind of like a 50-50 livery. You've got the main Coanda livery behind. I quite like it from the front.
I was about to say, it looks really nice from the front. Somehow loses a bit of the red line looking towards the...
It turns to the Coanda purple, orange, white and black. There's a lot of colours.
I get the idea, but I feel like they should have chosen colours from the same colour family, probably.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, esports and sim racing is known to do wild things, so maybe this is the first step, like opening up with a bang, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there's a couple of photographs, I think, further on in this social post.
A bit disruption never hurt nobody.
No, that is true. You can kind of see, like, there's a couple of photographs like later on in this social post where you can actually kind of see a little bit of the Cabina Racing centre, which apparently is not that far away from here. So
we looked at
I guess one week we'll have to drop by.
Exactly.
So
we should definitely do that.
Exactly. Do you think they'll give us a Porsche?
So maybe we can test drive one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a hot lap around the Bilsterberg and see what's happening. It's fun.
I know where all the radars are in Cologne. I think I'll win that one.
Okay, no worries. Also, I'm used to driving on the wrong side of the car. It's fine.
See?
Further information in the world of sim racing actually comes as Matej Tušković has left into the breach, which is obviously a bigger esports team. This is weird.
Of course, and I mean he's been with ITB from the very beginning, so it's always sad to see people leave, like where they have been for quite a long time. So why? What happened, Lewis?
Exactly, we don't fully know. Of the four main drivers that initially joined when ITV were new to the world of sim racing. Of course, again, they've done lots of stuff in the world of esports. When they were new to the world of sim racing, there was Kamil Pavlovsky, you had Amir Hosseini, obviously Matej Tušković, and then Statsenko, who's already kind of left the squad. So Statsenko left the squad a little bit earlier on in the year, went to Ferrari. We were kind of talking about, I wonder what kind of vibe that changes in the team when a driver leaves, and maybe that's kind of why. Again, we're pure speculation.
He's been with them for quite a while, and I think to fill that hole is going to be a challenge actually.
Yeah.
Yes, I said that on air.
Fair enough.
It's going to be our first viral clip.
Nice. Well, I'm sure Dane will be busy away trying to clip as much as is humanly possible. But yeah, no, I think there's a bit of a vibe change within the team, so fair enough on that. They'd already signed a couple of others, but it is what it is. R8G have also had a couple of switches. We're actually going to talk about this a little bit more throughout the show. But the Formula One Sim Racing World Championship, basically the highest level of sim racing that you can kind of do on that sort of things. Exactly, backed by Formula One, proper esports teams and stuff. With that new season basically kicking off once again, a lot of teams have chosen now to announce a lot of drivers.
There's been a lot of movement going on. Is that what happens to the sim racing industry? Like, do you have a lot of transfers happening between the seasons, or tend the sim racers to stick with their teams for a longer period of time, like for example the Counter-Strike players did for a certain time back in the 2020 to 22 realms?
It's already been clipped, by the way, your moment, sorry. But no, I don't know. So we had this last year for the first time. We obviously saw Shinaka Clay has joined R8G along with Xander van Dijken. We have this thing last year where we actually had the silly season kind of happen for the first time, like our first ever proper silly season, where it felt like every day someone had left a team, someone had joined a team, and it went on for 3 or 4 months, and it was just like this constantly. So I think that's kind of
proper carousel.
I think the first 3 or 4 months of the year we're seeing a lot of it, including Matthias van Erven, who's left the R8G team. There's a lot of changes for R8G. 2 new drivers, 1 left. I think they've even had some stuff before as well. So a lot of changes in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but that's not it.
No,
that's
God, no.
Definitely not it.
No. In fact, there's another one from Matthias van Erven.
I was about to say.
He's left R8G, jumped into Williams.
And yeah, I mean, you have to go up to new adventures, I guess, when you have achieved everything you wanted to achieve within a team, or maybe find that the surrounding isn't like as supportive, or maybe as rewarding as you would have expected when joining. No.
Well, we spoke about this one as well.
We need to get that rumors going, you know. We have no idea why people are changing, but we have to put gasoline into the fire. We have to light the fire first.
I mean, I can stir the pot about a lot of people in sim racing. The one I was going to point out about this one, by the way, is you can kind of see, if you've got any eagle eyes, where it says new driver, then it says Matthias van Erven, and underneath that says iRacing. Now, Matthias van Erven was the reserve driver for the Kick team in that first round of the F1 Sim Racing World Championship, again, long names.
And now he has changed.
And now he's changed to iRacing.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how much he's got experience-wise in iRacing. Maybe that's why he switched teams.
Could be. Could be. So I mean, looking onto other esports, it's fairly uncommon for people to change the discipline or change the game. We call it discipline, not the genre, but the discipline itself. So you see that happen rarely, actually. last time I saw it happen was like when Valorant got announced, when a lot of Counter-Strike players got frustrated with the former version of the game and sought something better in a new title. Lots of them came back actually.
Yeah?
Yes, but
the vibe was wrong, do you reckon?
I have no idea, like didn't manage to make the game as competitive or as viable in a competitive realms as they probably hoped for. That's what I heard. But yeah, it's something very rare to happen within the industry, so that's really interesting to see. How do you reckon he's going to be in iRacing?
I don't know. I don't know enough about him, like as a driver. I don't know what his I rating is. Whatever you want to classify it as. So I don't really know. I just think that potentially that was more the motive behind the switch. Like maybe wanting to jump ship. Will Lewis, another one to have joined in on the Williams esports camp along with Matthias van Erven. Of course, the important note there is that he's been drawn in basically to directly replace Marcel Kiefer, who we don't really know what's happening. I hope Marcel's doing all right, we'll have to wait and see on that one. One final driver, and this happened today, this very day. Antti Ahola has left Sim RC, so not 100% sure as to why or what, but the interesting thing with that, I brought it up to you, it is April the 9th. He joined Sim RC on April the 9th, exactly last year.
Yeah, it feels like the contract hasn't been renewed or extended, so what could be the reason of that?
I think there was a few struggles for Antti Ahola in the SimRC team, rather, in the IMSA Esports Championship. But then, to be fair to Antti Ahola, he did actually do quite well, or the team rather did quite well in the opening iRacing special event of the year, which is the 24-hour of Daytona. Ended up finishing in 3rd position with the team. Pretty sure there was a post-race penalty as well for Coanda. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was a while ago, but a superb performance from them. You're only kind of as good as your previous result, so that's kind of again, I don't know the inner workings of the team. Maybe there's just a restructuring, but again, what other goss can we spill about it? Maybe with sacks or something, I don't know. Who knows?
What do you think that Zach knows what happened? Because
God no.
He no, because he said Marcel came out and said he's focusing on his IRL race. Yeah. So it's taking a step away from competitive Formula One esports.
That was obviously about Kiefer. So maybe Zach Sweeney does know some things, but he doesn't know many racetracks. That's the problem. Actually, genuinely, you probably know more racetracks than he does.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt. He is clueless.
Oh, I don't know.
Name one racetrack.
Nürburgring.
Okay, he probably knows that one. Okay, it's fine. We'll move on. We'll move straight on out of here and jump straight into the results of the week, to which we had our fair share of drama, obviously beginning with the E-NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Long name, that one. Obviously great racing. Obviously this is the first ever round they've tried heat racing in an official race. So basically what happens here is they divide. You do your qualifying. Okay. Let's say you qualify 7th.
Okay.
Because you're in an odd-numbered qualifying position, you go into heat 1.
Okay, got you.
The even numbers go into heat 2, and you do two. There are two 25 lap races. And then they all meet to do a 70-lap final. There's something different for them. Weird to have.
Okay, so you first let them run in 2 different heats, and then they go back in all together.
Correct.
Okay.
Something different, something very, very different. The first one was absolutely dominated, as far as I remember, from Coda Junior. So obviously very interesting on that side. Nick Ottinger, obviously, someone who's been very strong in E-NASCAR, behind in 2nd spot. As you would expect, very, very tight margins. I don't believe there was a caution in Heat 1 or actually in Heat 2. I kind of wonder how that works though. Do you ever do that in like CS or whatever, like where you have like a little pre-tournament before a tournament on the same day in the same evening?
You kind of have the group stages, the playoffs and the final, and back in the day all of this used to happen at the same day, obviously. But now, since like looking onto STA Sports especially, it all got a bit more extended with more cool down time for the players to be a bit more rested for the upcoming matches. But back in the day when we started, it was like playoffs and finals on the same day.
Now, the thing is here though, right? So this is talking about a a mid-season change of format for the event and for the race.
So during the live season.
Yep.
That's wild.
So it's mid-season.
Was it that
they've
boring
changed
to
the
watch?
format. No, it's all. I mean, look at this. Look at all this crashing. By the way, this race, the feature race, which was 70 laps, had 6 cautions, so 6 safety car interventions in 70 laps, and
So
that was
every 10
before.
laps.
At the end of the race, if you have a safety car come out quite late in the race, so that it will go over the end of the race, you have what's called overtime, so it can go longer, and you can do that up to 3 times. So if a safety car comes out again, you can do it again, do it again. They required all 3, which means they had basically 8 safety cars in a 70-lap race. Now, I've seen your driving.
You've seen mine.
I reckon you might be all right to kind of survive that. Sorry, I didn't mean to flame you now. That felt really harsh. Anyway, obviously you can see some of the carnage and stuff. It was an excellent drive from Stephen Wilson to take victory in Richmond. The 4th round of the challenge. It ends the first segment of the season. Very confusing how they do points. But all I know is that Stephen Wilson.
It's a very confusing system.
This is oval racing for you. It's very confusing.
Okay.
But yeah, Stephen Wilson taking the victory. My boy Casey Kerwin down in 4th. Hashtag no bias, but I do like myself a little bit of Casey Kerwin. Stephen Wilson coming across the line to take a very well-deserved victory. Basically, kind of dominated for the most part through the feature race. What happens here is that there's an end-of-season playoff where you fight for the championship with, basically on the same grid. A victory means that you're into that end-of-season playoff. So this victory for Stephen Wilson is his first since round 3 of last season, despite winning the championship last season. It's his first since round 3 of last season. So he's now confirmed into those post-season playoffs. And you can see he was quite happy on social media as well, rightfully so.
Yay! I mean, that's an achievement.
Always. How many races have you won?
We're always happy about W's. Like in race cars or horse racing?
Horse racing, why not? I know
so
some
I'm
people
a
that like horse
dressage
racing.
rider, and the only competition I won was a jumping competition.
I know.
As a dressage rider.
I know some people that do. In fact, Max Benneker, his biggest fan, is well into horse stuff. I don't understand, but there's horses involved. So who knows?
Horse stuff and
horse
horses involved.
Stuff.
Can go in any direction.
I am not.
Louis,
I'm not smart enough to fully understand. It's fine. On to the next thing, because we'll move straight on, because it was the season finale of the. Here's another long name for you.
Okay.
Porsche Racespot Supercup.
Okay, that's what I hosted. That one I hosted myself.
So you're a natural for this. It's fine. Season finale time. Obviously, it was the final 2 races of the championship, coming from the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza.
Oh, that was lovely.
Thank you. Obviously, Monza, the Temple of Speed. Great track for racing. Always a scary one though. So basically, to give you a little bit of an example as to what happened here.
Yeah.
So Sebastian Job has come into this with a very decent margin on points, but this circuit, as you can kind of tell, is a little bit sketchy. So all he has to do is stay out of trouble. Imagine the pressure. This is the highest level. I was
about to say, staying out of trouble is the most challenging part, isn't it?
Yeah.
With all the factors that push onto you while you're racing, like other drivers.
Well, I mean, look at how close they all are. Look at how tight all of this is. And bearing in mind, at this point in the race, Sebastian Job is 7th. So he is in the middle of all of this. It's incredibly risky.
It's so narrow.
I don't think we would have. It's a good job we didn't do this as a whole. That's fine. To give you the rundown though, first race was an excellent battle between Lulham and Caruso, who was the series champion of the previous season. Had a bit more of a struggle in 2024. However, did win a race. That's his first race victory of the season. So for the outgoing champion, finally does actually stick one onto the book. But you can tell how tight these margins are. Half a tenth of a second, only a couple of tenths back. It was incredibly close. Very exciting. Sebastian Job finishing down in 7th, Diogo Pinto down in 8th. Those are the 2 championship rivals in all of that, 7th and 8th. So they get to start near each other in the next race. But I kind of wonder though, if you are in a battle in a championship, I guess it's the same. When you come across your rival and things are pretty tight, like that, your heart rate goes through the roof.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a high pressure situation where a lot of stress presses on you, and just to be able to keep your cool, like, calls for lots of routine, and of course lots of routine in certain situations, like being in that high pressured position. So it's like with everything in life, the mindset and the mental aspect of it is always a game changer. So, and I think if you if you leave your bumper on the street, your car is a bit faster as well. No, not
that
really.
was
I know.
that also. That
Get
also
at me
was,
with all the aerodynamics and all. Don't worry.
No, they'll be in chat immediately, being like, "This person has no idea."
That's why I wrote
Next,
back.
you'll be saying they got an engine in the front. No, Caruso was actually the one involved in that incident, obviously taking the victory and then instantly hero to zero kind of moment. It was a tight battle here. Diogo Pinto at the front of the field. Alessandro Bico in that is an excellent livery, by the way. The Williams Esports Golf livery was going up to battle for the race victory. Sebastian Job was starting to feel the pressure and was actually kind of dropping backwards a little bit through the race. But he was at a point where basically all he had to do, finish inside the top 10. And he's won 4 races on the bounce this season, so that should be fairly easy. But you know what it's like when the pressure's on. What should be so easy is not.
It's always the hardest, because people expect it from you, and that's what makes it especially hard.
Obviously, at the end of the race, I can't remember, it was a battle between Diogo Pinto and Cooper Webster, who actually worked his way up from 9th position to finish in 2nd place, even tyre margins in this one. Diogo Pinto ended up taking victory in that race, but it did mean that Sebastian Job was able to take the crown in the Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Supercup for the 2nd time. He won it back in 2020.
Congratulations.
So again, this is not just a normal championship. You know, this is not just me beating Dane Baird at a little fun Hotlap competition, even though he beat me, it's fun. Yes, it's not like that. This is winning an iRacing World Championship. This is as high as it gets at this level. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
Kind of pound for pound, maybe the best driver on the planet.
I'm still mind-boggled by the 0.017 time difference. So
absolutely crazy. Obviously,
that's not even a millisecond. Almost. No, it's crazy.
No, indeed. Next one though, more season finales. NGK NTK Esports finale. This one was at a circuit that you will know at. It was at the Nordschleife.
Oh, nice.
Plenty of Nordschleife talk in this one. Season finale and all of this, it was...
The Grand Prix section?
No, it's the whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yep, whole thing. Started coming down into the Grand Prix section.
22 kilometers?
I actually don't know. I actually don't know.
I've been told you know everything, Lewis.
I actually don't remember how long the Nordschleife is. I've only ever competed a couple of races around there because I'm terrified of it.
Something with some 20-something kilometers in my mind.
See, I kind of want to say 27. Someone will instantly drop in...
I'm somehow at 22, that's what I first said, but 24 could be also. But I'm not sure, I might be mixing it up with...
I can't believe Zach Sweeney's...
I don't know why the chat is not onto us, correcting us while we speak.
To be fair, Zach Sweeney here is saying he can't believe my dad... just to clarify, he counts me as his dad because I didn't leave. It's fine. But I will say, he's talking about something which we've not even shown it yet. Great battle either way in this. Alexander Thieber, who'd won 7 races throughout the season, was arguably the favourite coming into this. Spent most of the early part of the race out front, burnt a lot more fuel, and by the time it came round into the pit stop sequence, actually dropped back behind. 20.8.
So I
That's
wasn't
how many kilometers.
too far
but
away
is that
with 22.
Does that account for the Grand Prix circuit?
I think it's the whole Nordschleife.
Yeah, but the Nordschleife, you can cut off the Grand Prix circuit. So we'll see. I need an update on that. I need clarification from race control. This is late in the race, by the way. So basically what happened, Alexander Thieber had a longer stop. Vince Peters, Nicholas Nolder and Daniel Muth were all battling. This is Vince Peters, who didn't want the slipstream. He went straight on so that he wasn't leading. Very sneaky. These people are smarter than I am.
I know, right? So strategy. Strategy is a big part of racing as well, obviously.
Oh my God.
And while we're talking about the Nordschleife, please keep in mind that the curb at Fuchsville has been updated. You can't take the curb at Foxhole anymore.
Can you not?
Without wrecking your car. They changed it, lifted like for 10 centimeters.
Have they really?
Lots of cars have been wrecked at that point already. So if you go on a Touristenfahrt, take care of that curb. It's almost like a bus station.
Have you done many laps around the Nordschleife?
No, actually not.
No.
But I was able to accompany a good friend of mine for 1 or 2 laps, Micha Charolin, who's also a taxi driver there.
Nice.
And also a racer. He's racing as well, yeah.
Nice.
Very proud of him.
I only got taken around in a guy called Nicholas Hillebrand and his Mazda 3. We were overtaken by everything. That's fine. Late in the race, by the way, there's an excellent. honestly, I think I could have overtaken us running. That's not true, actually.
And now I've become death destroyers. BMWs.
So
the
true.
cab. Yeah, it's very true. I've heard lots of complaining about it. Yeah, I wasn't kidding, Dane, when I said bus stop. It is really high.
I'm curious because a set of course of competency has just recently had it added. So obviously I don't, because that scan I think is 2019. So I don't think it's going to have that massive curb. Either way, this battle though came down onto the straight.
I think they made it on purpose to have you lower your entry speed into the Foxhole.
For sure. Yeah, if you're making a start, it's to combat.
Sorry, I'm still
things.
talking.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's the Nordschleife. Don't worry, we've got plenty of Nordschleife talk coming. This battle came down into Tiergarten, by the way, and this is basically how it unfolds. So Vince Peters, who we said about before, had dropped to the rear of this train, and then starts this big bump draft on this guy called Daniel Muth, who's driving in VR, by the way, which is very uncommon in the world of sim racing.
Okay.
A lot of bump drafting, gets past Nicholas Nolder here on the left-hand side. And so at this point, we're all sat there thinking, Vince Peters is going to win this race. Vince Peters is absolutely going to win this race. He's got the speed, he's carrying it up and over this crest. There is some brave driving in all this. I want you to commentate on this.
Me?
No, it's fine.
No.
I'm not going to do that to you. Not yet. We'll build you up in the world of sim racing. We'll
Don't worry.
commentate on the race.
Play-by-play cast I'd be up to. But everything when it gets too technical, I'm your hype girl if you need me for your casts.
Girl. Exactly. You see this though, look at this side by side here. There's still, like this takes so much skill. And I thought he'd overdriven it here.
Yeah.
Absolutely not, son. A little bit of contact here. Nicholas Nolder nearly comes through to take the whole thing. Vince Peters ends up at the back of the field and Daniel Muth, VR boy, ends up taking victory. There is him in VR.
That is so cool.
That's a great bit of racing.
But do you think you'll have an advantage driving in VR if you're used to it, obviously?
It's a very interesting discussion that we have all the time in sim racing. I think there are certain advantages that VR has, but I think this race was 1 hour and 40 minutes long.
It's very exhausting.
A long time to have a screen slapped to your face.
Yeah.
Look at those gloves though. Looks like he did the dishwashing in that. Respect
he just won the race, so his dishwashing gloves seem to be enough, Lewis.
Exactly. If it works, it works. So the top 3 in that race separated by a quarter of a second, only 2 seconds back to Alexander Dieber. So big congratulations to Daniel Muth for winning quite a prize and also putting on quite a show. Plenty more esports results. I'll try and waffle through them so that you don't get so bored listening to me waffling on.
Don't worry about
I can't remember. Next up is the Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Deutschland.
Okay.
We didn't go racing with the Nordschleife on that one. We did start at the Hockenheim Ring, where Max Benneker, arguably the season favourite, had pole position, race victory. Then we did races at Spa. Guess what? Pole position, race victory.
Okay.
So at this point, after Spa, he had it all nailed down. And we looked through the history books. He had the seasons, but there's not been seasons whatever. He had every single pole position up until between now and I think it was the 6th of August 2021.
That is so crazy. He definitely is one of the most consistent drivers out there.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane.
And that's on 2 different platforms, because back in 2021 it was obviously on iRacing, now it's on Racespot. So crazy. So he won the first race, Thibaut Kaz won his second spot, won the second race. Going into the final race though, his pole streak was over, because Thibaut Kaz said, Absolutely not, son.
It's mine.
He got it onto pole position.
Oh boy.
Excellent stuff. Beneker, though, was good enough to come across the line in second place during the race and was able to take the Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Deutschland crown. So big congratulations. Well done to Beneker. Very, very impressive drive. To have been as dominant as he was, I mean, like I say, he won, I think he won the opening 6 races of the season. Might have been 7 races of the season.
Like,
How
just winning 2 in a row is already such a huge challenge.
Very impressive.
Especially if you have to go up against drivers like him.
Yeah. Thibaut Casamon is no slouch. Ended up finishing in second position. Yuri Toman in third. Disappointment for Moritz Lerner by missing out by a single point. 1 point. Missed that. And this is,
That's how the cookie crumbles, Lewis.
Fourth, no money.
1 point.
Third, money. Fourth, no
painful.
money. Ridiculous.
That's really painful, especially if it's like because of such a small margin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I've spoken about with a lot of esports stuff. I'll come back to in a second because I think it's very interesting about how money and or how competitions are in esports and how it's over in one bit. Romain Grosjean did give a bit of a shout out to his boys Thibaut Casamon and Yuri Toman. So excellent to see Romain Grosjean. I know it's his own esports team, but obviously he's busy racing in IndyCar and such.
But still, yeah.
It's great that he's still involved with his team.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like big, I don't know, celebrities or anything like that in any esports teams? And if they are they like fully involved?
We had a while where like lots of athletes actually got involved into esports, especially looking onto North America and everything. But like in Germany or like in Central Europe, like correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't really think about anyone from the top of my head actually. Like we have a few celebrities here and there that are like esports and gaming enthusiasts, but like having their very own team, no one comes to my mind actually.
But this is where I think the interesting thing with sim racing is that we have that intrinsic link with motorsport.
Absolutely.
Where we can...
Okay, when we look at FIFA,
exactly,
right? It's basically the same, the transfer from like traditional football to digital football.
Yeah. So
I really like seeing like real life athletes get involved into the digital realms, because I think it's a transfer that lies very close actually, and it's very good thing to stand on when looking onto maybe the end of your driving career as a IRL race driver. So for sure. I mean, I think it's very interesting. Also, it's EA Sports FC 24 now, not FIFA. Just saying. Next one up. So sorry. Hosted it. Don't worry about it. I was talking about FIFA.
Straight on to the DTM Pro Series, though. Tim Yarshall grabbed his 4th pole position of the season. Do you know what circuit this is? No. I can tell you Zach Swinney definitely doesn't. It is the Sachsenring here in Germany. Honestly, one of my favourite tracks.
I'm
absolutely
not wearing my glasses, to be honest,
adore this one. In fact, Romain Grosjean has some drivers out in this, Haniowski and the likes. Tim Yarshall's been dominant so far this season, running away from everyone. He was under pressure from the Team Redline driver of Kevin Siggy. Seen a lot of domination in sim racing. And to be fair, Tim Yarshall is the latest edition of it. 4 pole positions. Nice. And there we go, yet another victory over Hollis. Do you know what I'm seeing here, though?
What do you see?
A lot of Porsches. There is only 3 Audis inside the top 10. The rest of them are Porsches.
Yeah, good choice.
Maybe exactly. Are you a Porsche fan?
Yes.
Nice. This is the start of the second race as one of the RAGs getting involved. I believe it was Marcel Chinchik. Got spun round at T1 and caused that absolute kerfuffle. Nikodem Wisniewski took over the race lead. And you know what I said about driver changes?
Say again?
You know how we've said about driver changes and stuff like that? Nikodem Wisniewski, this is he's only been a part of that team for 1 month.
All right.
And this ended up being his 3rd victory for that team. He is absolutely flying. Now that, I feel, is like someone gelling with the team immediately.
Yeah, it must be the right surrounding for him to bloom, obviously, yeah. It is so important to have like a fit on that level as well. It's not only the performance in the system, obviously, but also like everything around it, the support system for the driver, and that the driver gets everything that he needs or that she needs to provide the results that are needed from them. So we know how difficult it can be, like having not very symbiotic teams especially looking into Formula One and the happenings of the past seasons, for example. So having the perfect surrounding for you to bring your A game is so necessary, so you can be the best driver in the world. If the system around you doesn't work or doesn't work for you, it's not going to work out, obviously.
Absolutely not. Penultimate round of the season coming a bit later on this week for the DTM Pro Esports Championship. I will actually say, I want to touch on it very quickly because I didn't touch on it when we were talking about NASCAR, just because I think it is absolutely hilarious. The E-NASCAR Coca-Cola Series is racing later on tonight at Brands Hatch. That will be hilarious. That's fine. One more result that we'll go through before me and you jump behind the wheel of the rig. That's fine. Of course, it was the Assetto Corsa Competizione 24 hours, more Nordschleife racing.
On the Nordschleife.
The Nordschleife, absolutely brand new to the world of Assetto Corsa Competizione. So great stuff. 72 cars took to the grid. I think it was 39 if I recall correctly. There might have been slightly more GT3s. There were some GT4s out there and some Cup cars as well. I know on the real stuff, you get way more cars than that. But in sim racing, you have 72 cars run fairly flawlessly through a 24-hour race. It is one of the hardest challenges that you can deal with, right? Dealing with a 24 hours around here.
So insane. You not only have to function for like a short amount of time, like calling an hour to a short amount of time, right? So, but bring the performance on the tarmac for like 24 hours straight. Of course, taking turns with your drivers is still a tough nut to crack, actually. I really want to participate myself in a 24 hours race. Yeah.
No, well, you can do in the world of sim racing. Just jump straight in. Why not?
Make good use of that insomnia, you know.
Do you want to know?
So we're fielding a team next year, what, Lewis?
Oh, absolutely. Well, actually, do you know what? You can go and do something very special indeed, like third place in this race. So ITB won, ITB Racing won. Fair enough. Big congratulations to them. Unicorns of Love in second. Third place, Luke Whitehead's 21 Solo YOLO. He did the entire race.
The whole 24 hours.
All 24 hours. By himself.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge for me. That is insane. Okay, that is absolutely crazy. That is so crazy. Like solid 24 hours. Yeah. Not like 24 in-game hours that turn out to be like 4 in total. A
real day. He was live, I think, for 25 hours. Obviously, his biggest stream that he's ever had over on Twitch. Very, very impressive. Kudos. And again, to not only have achieved that, but to have done it and finished in third.
I was about to say, like, staying up for a long time, we're all LAN-proofed, aren't we? Like, when I remember my 16th birthday, it was a LAN party for like 5 days straight, and I was awake 4.5 of them. So that's one thing, like staying awake for that amount of time, but like being in a high competitive surrounding for like 24 hours straight, where every single mistake could be like potentially the last. So that is very crazy. So, and then finishing third, as you already mentioned, is crazy. It's very impressive.
Absolutely ridiculous. Again, huge congratulations to him. Huge congratulations to the ITB Racing team as well for not only winning in the GT3 category, but they also won in the Cup category. And of course, Veloce did win in the GT4s as well. So plenty of racing and plenty of highlights as well. I'd say it was exciting. Like, great to look over some of the results.
That was really interesting to watch. Thank you so much for taking us through it and sharing your knowledge with us. I learned a lot. I hope you guys at home too. But so.
Speaking of learning,
I don't want to talk about the next segment.
Speaking of learning,
I was thrown into very cold water.
Absolute rubbish. No, you were, to be fair.
But I swam a little. I swallowed lots of water, but I finished. I finished at least.
Exactly. We are, of course, alluding to this Hotlap challenge.
Exactly. So I'm really
so that'll be fun.
Let's excited to see how it looks cut together, actually.
Let's jump in and have a look. Let's see how we did it. I totally
forgot that I had a camera in front of my face. I want to see the faces I made.
Let's take a look.
Okay. Okay, 21 minutes.
We'll ignore the speed on that lap. We're ignoring the speed.
So I should brake actually, then we go down to second, go around the corner.
Do you know what? That's actually better than Dane did it earlier, so that's pretty good.
Oh boy, boy!
Keep going.
That was penalty because I was off track.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
You wait till you see my lap in a second.
That is very, very exhausting.
Oh yeah. Again, you've got 2 more laps this.
Oh shit.
A lap and a bit.
Wait.
Whoa!
Oh no.
Did you lock up there?
Yep.
Nice. Right, downhill. It's completely flat. This chicane completely flat. You just like really throw it to the left. Yeah.
Okay. Oh no!
2-time entry down.
You lied to me.
I didn't. I promise you, I am not lying.
No, that's neutral.
For the talented
What's
bunch in
back?
sim racing,
How do
I'm
we
not doing it flat.
reverse? Oh, that is reverse.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Don't come at me. That's the right direction.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not good with corners, but I know which way to go.
Nice.
After leaving the pit lane.
And then a left-hander to end the lap. I'm pretty sure 2-time
2 is
iRacing
maybe-
world champion Sebastian Job's not quaking in his boots, right?
God. Oh, this is painful to watch probably. I'm very, very sorry.
Okay, here's the big lap.
Okay, we go to left now, right?
That's it. Left hairpin. Brake
I
now.
should brake.
Nice and light. That's it.
And then I'll go
Bring it down.
around
Second
the
gear.
corner.
Yeah.
Come on.
Chuck it in.
I made it.
Unbelievable speed. Left hand over the left, over the left.
Yeah.
So then chuck it through the right. Keep going
Let's
right,
go.
keep going right, keep.
Oh boy.
Now punch the throttle down.
Good thing I put on the other end. Holy.
It's tough stuff. Left
do we go?
hander
Left,
over
right?
the crest. Yeah, left.
Okay, then I'll go right.
On the brakes, nicely.
Jump to 2 and then around the corner.
Yeah.
That's good. That was better.
Nice.
That was better.
I've seen worse sim race than you. You want to be over the right hand side slightly? Then chuck it through the left, lift a bit.
Oh.
Yeah!
Yay! I stayed on track.
Nice.
How did I do that?
I've never been more proud. That's not an apex.
Almost.
One final corner.
Where's the AC? Where do I turn on the AC? Oh wait. Why do I forget shifting the gears? Because I have a car that does it for me. I know.
There's always an excuse. What was the
Okay.
time? A 1:20.5.
Oh, we're done?
Nice.
That was 3 already.
That was 3.
Oh, damn it.
That was 3. Right, it's over it. Fantastic
Lewis.
news. Right.
Let's see if you can live up to that
Oh, actually,
performance.
Hugo, you are no longer in my ear. Good day, sir. Get out of my ear. I don't need him. Are you ready to see some quality driving?
Absolutely.
Nice. It's fine. Am I allowed to speed in pit lane? No. Oh, I got a 30-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Wow. I'm very, very sad about that.
You're not allowed to speed in pit lane. Who'd have thunked it? No one's going to talk about it. To be fair, I'm well known for speeding. It's fine. Attempt number 2. I'm going to say. Ooh.
Not too easy, right?
It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Right. I'm going to see if this is flat. All right.
Okay.
Over here. Oh no, I'm a wimp. I'm a wimp.
Oh.
I lifted a bit. Okay, here we go. There's a reason I retired from sim racing.
I was about to say you have to be a little bit more careful in the corners.
That was a horrific exit.
Yeah.
That was not good. 108. Come on, Lewis. Faster, please.
It always speaks for itself when people have to like mention it.
They're achievements.
But yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm too mean, I'm sorry. I came actually to learn from you, but
Oh, that's so bad.
yeah, exactly.
Thank
That's
you.
what I was about to say.
A little bit too hot there. A little bit too hot. Come on, this is going to be a big lap.
It's okay, I was about to say.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be in second gear or third through there.
Yeah.
Come on, Lewis. Pin it.
That
It
was
works.
okay.
Oh, that's way too early on the brakes.
I must admit, like you can see some progress from
Thank
round
you.
to round, like up until there, but yeah.
Please be a good time. Please.
See?
I'm shaking.
Let's see.
I'm taking
What
the
did I
tightest
have?
line.
120, right?
What am I doing?
I don't know.
107.0. I'm a
okay.
second and a half slower than Hugo.
I mean,
Lloris.
I would have expected more from you, to be
Thank
honest.
you.
But only 13 seconds ahead is, well,
I'm not very good. I think that's the be all and end all.
it's okay.
Right.
That
sweet.
was fun.
That was fun.
I don't want to do it again. Not in that car. Of course I'm going to do it again. I'll practice now.
You're going to go straight after this broadcast. We're going straight back on the simulator.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I think we did all right. That was
Hey,
literally,
it was
we did
fun.
3 laps.
There was my very first lap
Yeah.
at that sim.
I've never
that
driven.
wheel
I've never driven Live for Speed as well. If you don't know what it is,
in a very long time.
it's quite an old sim game, but I know a lot of people absolutely love it. It's not really used very much anymore, but it's excellent. We had a lot of fun.
It was really fun, and I really can't wait to get back into it because I want to beat my own time. I mean, 120.
What do you think you can get if you go back?
I have no idea. I haven't if I put like proper practice into it, I think that I'll be better. I'm very competitive. I'm already thinking about like how can I squeeze in that practice time because I can't like stay this bad. I don't like this.
Just to clarify, all of us here in Racespot HQ did have a go. I did a 107.0. I can't remember what Philip standard. Was it a 106 something? Cool. We'll just call that. That's fine. Dane Bayer did a 106.8. Hugo Lloris proves why he is still the greatest sim racer of all of us.
True.
So at 105.5. So that's fine.
But I will definitely do better next time.
Well, we're going to drag in, hopefully, over the next few weeks, we're going to drag in a few guests and stuff.
That would be amazing.
And we'll see how fast some of the fastest in sim racing, or how slow.
Well, you have to
really
keep
are.
in mind that I put on this time with little to no sim racing experience. So I think you have to see it like from that perspective.
The more experience.
Just imagine like with a few hours of training what I could have done.
The more experience people have in sim racing, let's say for example we get someone who's mega experienced, they only get 1 lap.
That's okay.
That's it. They only get 1 lap to give it a go. I think that's a fair
That
shout.
should be fair, yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
That's a fair setting for everyone.
Indeed. Why not? Why not?
It's okay.
Oh well, that's most of us done on all that kind of stuff.
That is very true,
but
most of it, but not all, because we have prepared, well, Lewis has prepared a lovely news segment for us to bring us up to date with all the happenings around the sim racing industry and everything else. So let's see what he has to say. Lewis, what are you having to say?
So the first bit of news to talk about is, of course, the return of the Formula One Sim Racing World Championship, which gets underway very, very soon indeed, on the 10th to the 12th of April, with the return of the championship, starting with the Saudi Arabian and, of course, the Austrian Grand Prix, qualifying basically first thing in the morning, 10 a.m. UTC, before we've got 3 days with 6 races on it. It's going to be a brutal test for all of the drivers, of course. This is a continuation of the championship, which started back in Jönköping at the end of last year. Ronha winning the Bahrain Grand Prix there, of course, over Opmeer to start out the season. A continuation of that. They'll do 6 races now, and then in a few weeks' time, in May, they will also do the final 6 races of the championship to conclude the season before the new F1 24 releases. Of course, there's a few driver switches and all this. Plenty of drama has happened between that first round at Jönköping and now, including Philip Presneder jumping in at Alpine for Luke Smith. Xander Van Dijken, who we were talking about a bit earlier on, is in to replace Matthias van Erven for the Kick F1 sim racing team, as well as Will Lewis, who's been brought in to replace one Mr. Marcel Kiefer at Williams Esports, who was basically on loan anyway from the Mercedes squad. So very, very interesting indeed to see basically what's going to happen behind the scenes there for Kiefer. Next up is, of course, the Esports World Cup, which is effectively a rebrand from Gamers 8 that happened in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh last year. It returns in summer 2024, so really not very long indeed. And of course, Racespot will once again be a part of it. It was the event that Max Benneker won last year from the Drivers' Championship. Of course, the Porsche Commander Esports team won on the team side of things. So big questions around this as to whether it is going to be with the ESLR1 backing, happening, and of course leading to larger questions as to whether we'll see ESLR1 back in the near future, potentially as a part of this event or not. It's one of the biggest things for esports, of course, with things like League of Legends, EA Sports FC24, or you've got Counter-Strike 2 that's also a part of it, so a huge thing for sim racing to be a part of. Speaking of returns, of course, is the return of the Gran Turismo World Series, which ended in December last year, of course, at Barcelona, announcing for the new season having 4 live events throughout the year. Of course, the Nations Cup and the Manufacturers Cup. The Nation Cup, the online qualifiers begin very, very soon indeed, and of course, it's that build-up all the way to the World Finals at the end of the year. They're going to have a live event in Montreal in July. You've got Prague, of course, in August, and then they also have the live event in Tokyo. Very exciting to see what happens over in the world of Gran Turismo. Of course, between the Nations and the Manufacturers Cup, it's a whole a global effect in the world of sim racing, and one that certainly, we keep close attention on. Also, there is a rebrand for what was effectively known as Assetto Corsa 2. It's been rebranded to Assetto Corsa Evo. We still have very little information as to what it's going to be like. Obviously, it's more of a successor to the original Assetto Corsa as opposed to Assetto Corsa Competizione. So expecting modding and things like that. Obviously, we'll find out more throughout the year. It's expected to go into early access at some point in 2024. A lot of people are talking about it going into early access in summer 2024. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Certainly one for the sim racing community to be excited about. Also positive news for Le Mans Ultimate. Tom Harrison-Lord from Overtake GG caught up with CEO Stephen Hood a few days back to find out what exactly was going on. And the exact quote, I'll give it to you. Within the first 36 hours into release, Le Mans Ultimate sold as many units as they projected in the opening 10 days. And it's continued to go on selling as such. So that is fantastic news. Does lead to some more information, a bit of speculation a little bit further down, where Stephen Hood effectively is talking about the potential return of the Le Mans Virtual Series, and of course using Le Mans itself a bit later on in the year to potentially either announce it or even just sell more Le Mans Ultimate. So there are positive vibes within the Motorsport Games camp that hopefully we'll be seeing some Le Mans Virtual action later on in the year, or maybe even towards the start of 2025. Of course, head over to overtake.gg where you can find that article written by Tom Harrison-Lord. And finally, of course, is the announcement of the Fanatec CSL cockpit. Of course, to complete their CSL branch, we've got the CSL DDs and stuff. This is designed to be an entry-level sim racing rig into the sim racing community. There's the talk of it being the small price mega performance, so something more you would assume for the entry-level sim racer. But it's interesting to see that Fanatec releasing a product like this at the moment for the Fanatec brand.
Lewis, thank you so much. I mean, this news segment was made possible due to the magic of television, obviously. But I mean, your teleportation skills are on fleek, actually. But no, thank you so much for the nice roundup about the happenings. But let's talk a little more about Fanatec. Yeah. Because I feel there's still something more to know about all of this. Yeah, there is. Obviously, so Fanatec recently announced that they'd parted ways with their CEO, Jakomeyer. They kind of parted ways. And this was very recently as well. This is in the last few weeks. So I think it's very interesting that Fanatec, with some of the changes and stuff behind the scenes, that they've chosen now to release a new product. But it's more about what does this mean for the rest of Fanatec. Of course, they do sponsor the GT World Championship, Real World Championship. They're heavily influenced on the SRO esports, which is supposed to happen throughout the year. On that matter? Honestly, I do. I really do. I expect. I don't know what's going to change, but when they're so heavily involved in that stuff and in SRO esports, is there going to be a scaling back on there? Is there going to be a change as to how that's all involved? Is that completely separate and is fine and SafeNet? Fanatec were very much behind, with the rigs and stuff. The rigs that they used at the events were all provided by Fanatec. So it's kind of like, will those kind of bits change? There's a lot to discuss and all that, a lot to digest that we can only speculate about, which is my favourite bit. Just to talk. I was about to say, we're just here to talk about it. Absolute rubbish. Well, to think about it loudly, I always say. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, time will tell on that matter, obviously, but you're right. Most of the times, if big changes happen, big changes on other sectors are very immediate as well. So let's see what time tells. I mean, you guys at home can get involved as well. So if you want to share your 2 cents with us as well, go ahead, write it in chat, throw us. I was about to say tweets, but you don't say tweets anymore. You
Surely you still do. No.
I mean, what's
posts, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
I
it's
think
tweets.
so. Right? Yeah. But
If you type in twitter.com, Twitter still appears.
yeah, of
even though
course.
it's X, that's fine.
Of course.
Tweets, it's
I mean,
fine.
that would be really like that. That would kill the traffic on the
Oh,
page.
yeah.
I feel.
Oh yeah. I always felt bad. I sent.
But like in iOS, you can't search for Twitter anymore,
not?
so it doesn't show up anymore. So the slight change of behaviorism is being inducted by the brand.
I sent my dad a tweet about Formula One, and I felt really bad because he would have seen it, and the link is x.com/whatever, and I'm like, I promise you, it's a perfectly fine link. Yeah, obviously, yeah, fair enough. On that one, what I say, well, it's fine. Look, you can also let us know on the Racespot Discord. I'll get straight onto that. We do want to have a little bit of a discussion. One of the major things we do want to do in this, we want to have a discussion with you, the community, about some of the points. We'll have like a discussion point that we're going to bring in.
We're doing all of this for you guys as well. So, and of course, we want to know what you are thinking as well. So don't be shy, get involved. I mean, we're all winging it basically. Well, I am. He is.
My 2 cents is that Arjuna should pick Charlotte Roval for VCO Infinity. Now, Gianni Vecchio, I did ignore that earlier purely because Charlotte Roval deserves to be absolutely decimated. It is a terrible circuit that I don't want to go anywhere near. I have no idea what the track selection is for VCO Infinity, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. The discussion point that we do want to have, though, is we will be talking about the top. Who are the top 2 teams in sim racing, right? Now, this is the whole interesting thing, is that 2 or 3 years ago, I was saying about this to you earlier, 2 or 3 years ago, it was a slam dunk that it was going to be Team Redline and DRS Commander, and depending on which way you felt, you would go for one or the other as the best team. Now, these days, the best team is Team Redline.
Is that your personal opinion? Or?
No, I actually think Team PGZ. Team PGZ is by far the greatest team in sim racing. They are taking it by storm. They're a meme team. They're absolute memes. They're definitely not the best team in sim racing.
Figured.
Yeah. No, it's Team Redline are the number 1 team.
Okay.
My team is up there as well, but it's not quite competing. It's fine. Realistically speaking, the second team is the interesting one, I think. Team Redline's fine. Who is that second team? You know, when you look at it, it's so confusing. Actually. Who do you think it is?
But I'm the absolute wrong person to ask, actually. So let's talk about different esports disciplines that we can get in exchange. But no, let's ask our audience.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what we're here for. We're just like the talking bots. I mean, I just read, like, we have a bot, we're famous. That's amazing, by the way.
Yes, we have made it. Margaret Wunsch, hello, bot. No, I think the interesting thing here is, I said that there's a lot of candidates for, really weird, the Precision Racing Esports team says that it's the Precision Racing Esports team. Shock.
Who would have thought?
That is weird.
But I mean, you're allowed to vote for yourself, always.
That is true. That is true.
It's
That's
always
why
said if it stays the only vote, though.
This is why I have won 2 VCO Simi Awards for Best Commentary, because I vote for myself thousands of times. So for me, like, you have your Team Redlines. Coanda, I still think are kind of up there, but obviously with the departure of Philip Stam, that's why they've dropped out, right?
Probably.
No, it's fine. He's only because he's looking at me. It's fine. I think Coanda are still up there. Williams, I'd actually argue, are probably the strongest candidate for it. R8G are up there. Basically, it's kind of one of those ones. We have our number 1. The number 2 positions
is up for grabs.
Far more interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think we will figure out when the season progresses.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a long year. It's a long year that we're going to try this format out quite a few more times in.
You can vote once. Still in terms of your Simi Awards.
Zach Sweeney was nominated for one, but he didn't win because he's not all this. It's not all that, it's fine. Sorry. We're going to try this a few more times though throughout the year. We're going to give it a good few goes. We're going to probably stick on a few more laps on the rig, which is why we're desperate to wrap up.
So as soon as we close up here, we're back at the race.
Straight away.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about.
I'll beat my time.
I mean,
by far.
You're going to beat my time.
I want to beat your time. That is very true.
Perfect. Well, let's talk about what's coming up on Racespot though, because we do have a few broadcasts: the Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Great Britain, Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Canada, Porsche. Fair enough. Those are all coming up throughout the week. There is though one major thing. This is the main one that I want to talk about. Is in not this weekend, the weekend after. Johnny Vecchio has already hinted at it. That there is an event called VCO Infinity. Now, if you don't know what it is 24 hours of racing, but they're all individual races. So it's 24
consecutive hours of
there's
races happening.
Exactly, they're 45-minute races, and we do 24 of them around. There's 5 different cars. The cars have already been announced. Can't remember what they are. It's a NASCAR Xfinity car, it's an Indy car, it's a Super Formula Light. It's a Ferrari 296, and it is.
You're casting all of it.
A Mazda MX-5. I'm not casting on all of it. I'll cast on my fair few races. I'm going to pick the ones that I think are interesting.
Okay.
They're all doing like various teams and stuff. It's a cool team event. It's absolutely excellent. And apparently the circuits haven't been announced yet. But you've got to be so adaptable to do it.
I was about to say. I mean, we're used to not knowing what maps to play right until before the game or the match itself. So I think that's the least of our problems, right? The tracks. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It is for us. Look, we're going to enter VCO Infinity. Watch out for the Racespot team. We're entering it. Me and you. Yes, next year.
No.
When?
In next, not this weekend, the weekend after. We're in it. We're joining. We're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's fine. You've got a lot of time to practice.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Like, let's get out of the show.
I need to start practicing immediately.
Lewis, thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you for this amazing show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, being a part of it. And of course, as already said, feedback is always very well appreciated. So this was our first community night, pretty much.
Absolutely.
We want to do that again, maybe. We're going to do that again. But we, of course, want to know what you liked, what you didn't like. Tell us. And we'll see if we'll make something out of it or just discard it. Who knows?
Absolutely. Obviously, you can drop it in the Twitch chat. You can drop it in the YouTube comments when this gets posted on there. Or you can join the RaceSpotTV Discord as well, where you can bother me
Don't
with
forget
DMs.
to follow as well.
Exactly. See, you're all right at this. And subscribe if you're on the. I don't know. That's, what else? I don't know all the other ones. Tweet or something. It's fine. Thank you so much. I've been Lewis. Melly's been alongside, and we'll hopefully see you again in the near future. Bye.